Kryon's message. About 11,000 years ago, at the end of the last glacial age, a mini ice age if you wish, there were things happening on this planet, and you can search for this and you will find it. These things have to do with what I will call an unusual plasmic activity in the atmosphere. The magnetic grid was much different. Mass ejections from the sun, and the kinds of things that the movies are made of would arrive and hit this planet's magnetic field. This would charge it with different kinds of plasma. It's there for you to see in science history. It's in the ice cores, and in the magnetics you would measure in the layers of the Earth. It was different then, and I want to tell you what it caused. First of all, it caused a lot of death. We've told you this before, and we told you that, in part, humans created it. Humanity has gone through at least 4 stages of civilization through different ages and have almost terminated each time. You may recall that your prophecies some years ago had you in a final war at the millennium, with mass destruction. It didn't happen. That was number 4, moving to number 5. The year 2013 and beyond is number 5. We've told you about looking at number 3 in unknown history. You won't find anything easily that I'm speaking of, and the history wasn't obliterated through weapons. Rather, it was through plasma discharge, nature. But way before this, your planet had an atmosphere that was alive in a different way through the sun's activity, the heliosphere, and it charged the magnetic grid in a way where humanity was able to develop DNA to at least 50%. Remember, you're at 30% to 35% at the moment. Wait a minute, Kryon. You mean we went backwards? Yes. Eventually you will find evidence of this, an advanced civilization. If you've had lifetimes where you felt you were part of an advanced civilization, you were. This is because your consciousness was advanced, not your technology. Say that again slowly. You could do things with your consciousness that you can't do now, and you could do them easily. You could heal your own body with your own consciousness. There were those who could create actual matter out of nothing, all this, through advanced thinking, not mechanical devices. We are giving you a principle that hasn't really been thought of yet. Consciousness is physics. It's a real measurable field that affects physical reality. Ever crashed your computer when you were angry or put out a light bulb? How? It's physics. Yes, you were there, not with flying cars and anti-gravity, but with a wisdom in high physics that you remember well. You remember advanced wisdom and consciousness. There's a reason for the fact you can intuitively remember all of this. It's in your Akash. Listen to me, for this is the lesson today. You're not covering new ground as you evolve. Listen to me, you are instead bringing forward what you had. You are going back to achieve the future. Your Akash is slowly awakening since you passed 2012. There is already a pattern or template for this advanced reality, and you lived it eons ago. This Akashic pattern exists within you to fast-track the evolution that you are going through now. You've been there before. Old soul, what you remember is an advanced civilization way before 10,000 years ago. But the seeds of it are starting to pattern themselves again. It's not new, and it's not unknown, and your Akash knows it. Your body's innate knows it. What has been will again be reality, and for you it won't be new. You're coming back to it. We've talked about Atlantis, and we've talked about the fact that not all of you, not millions of you, could have all been on one sinking island. Yet you all believe you were. There's a metaphor there for the destruction of humanity for many reasons, and it was real, and you all went through it. Most of you were destroyed through these times, and that was civilization number 3. Number 2 had its own reasons, mostly Earth-based. Then there was the start over of civilization number 4, your current 11,000-year-old history. So everything you attribute to human civilization, all 11,000 years of it, is actually the 4th civilization. I know this sounds very odd, but even some of the wise ancient information from the indigenous of your planet know these things. It's part of their teaching. Dear ones, Your civilization has been here for 50,000 years. Science will someday agree that there appears to be lost history and see it for what it is. You're not that young. Many of your souls are very old and wise, and you've been here a long time. Your Akashic record is filled with these kinds of things. Do you see what I am saying today? You've got the building blocks of the future because you experienced it in the past. Because of this, you're not going to be afraid of it, and when you start to experience it, it's going to be something that is comfortable to you. I want you to look in the eyes of the indigo children for a moment. Those who are young souls are confused. But those who are old souls are confident. Perhaps too confident? They're not looking around or frightened that they are different. They're instead looking at you and wondering why you are not scared since you are so old energy. They've been through this before. They are old souls and they are remembering what is coming, and in their confidence, you can see it. Don't let their countenance fool you. They are not headstrong. They simply are awakening to something they remember in a planet that hasn't seen it for a long, long time. Channeled by Lee Carroll.